8th grade lesson 5.2 is writing linear equations from a table. And yes, we are still doing y equals mx plus b, but you're probably super good at it by now. And we're still using m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, but you probably got that memorized by now or pretty close to it. So you're doing great. Keep up the good work. We're going to continue forward and build on this. Here we go. Okay, so this table shows the temperature of a fish tank during an experiment. Graph the data and find the slope and y-intercept from the graph, and then write the equation for the graph in slope-intercept form. Hopefully by now, if these points are matching these points here, you really only needed one or the other to get our slope-intercept form. I could use my rise over run. It's going to be negative because it's leaning back, right? I could use my rise over run to get my slope there, and just look at that, and there's my y-intercept is positive 82. Or I could use this, if x is 0, then my y-intercept is 82, because unless x is 0 or y is 0, then it's going to be what my y-intercept is 82. So either way, I can see my y-intercept. If I weren't given the graph and didn't have rise over run, then I could just use these 2 points and run them through the equation. So I have all kinds of choices depending on what they give me. So let's kind of, just to refresh our memory, let's do the rise over run there, and also let's run 2 points on the line through the slope formula so that we get all the practice we need, so our brains are clicking this all into place and this puzzle is coming together into a beautiful picture. So rise over run, let's have a look. I already know my y-intercept is 82. So I'm going to go ahead in my equation and put y equals mx plus 82, because that is where it is crossing the y number line. Now I'm going to choose another point. These are counting by ones for every 2 dashes. And these are counting by, oh my goodness, this crosses over a lot. And then 72, let's look it up here, what's crossing by: 78, 79, 80, 81, 82. So it skipped over a whole bunch. That's what that wiggly line is about. But then they're counting by ones after that. So I'm going to go from here, this point, to there. And remember, it's always rise over run, or in this case, it's a negative rise, so it's a fall. So I'm going down 2 and over 1, remember, because 2 dashes is 1. So down 2 over 1. Down 2 over 1. That is my slope. For practice sake, we're going to go ahead, let me get this out of our way, and we're going to take 2 points, xy coordinate there and xy coordinate there. Choose the smallest ones available, because why calculate with big numbers if we don't have to? So for a lot of you, writing out the xy coordinates is probably helping you. So when x is 1, y is 80 is my second one. So 0, 82 is where I got this. When x is 1, y is 80 is where I got these. And then I'm going to title them. These are my x's, these are my y's. This was my first choice, this was my second choice. That helps me find my x2s and y2s and y1s and x1s. So let's go ahead and fill in our equation. M equals y of my second choice is 80 minus y of my first choice is 82 over x2 is 1 minus x1 is 0. 80 minus 82 is negative 2. 1 minus 0 is 1. Oh my goodness, looky there. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. There it is. Both ways to do it. I wanted to dust off cobwebs to show you that. So the answer, if they were looking for, is y equals negative 2x plus 82. I'm hoping you guys are feeling like, oh, this is all, yeah, I got that. Sanchez, keep going. Go do, build on it. So here we go, let's build on it. So let's look at Elizabeth's cell phone plan. Let's choose how many minutes are included each month. By the way, I don't think there's any cell phone plans that do this anymore, but in the old days, they used to do the cell phone plan like you had to pay like 5 cents per text or 5 cents per minute used on the phone. Now everything is unlimited because nobody wanted to keep track of that anymore. But let's say Elizabeth found one of those old plans. Cell phone plans lets her choose how many minutes are included each month. The table shows the plan's monthly cost, so what the plan itself costs, one-time fee for the month, for a given number of included minutes. Write an equation in slope-intercept form to represent the situation. So she pays a certain fee for her cell phone plan, but she has to pay a certain amount per minute she uses her phone, like the old days. So your brain hopefully is setting that up in kind of this y equals mx plus b form, where her first cost is our y-intercept. That's what her cost is, just to have the phone plan. We still pay those. But for every minute she uses, it costs a certain amount. And so the x is representing how many minutes she will use that month. So if she talks a lot, it'll be more money. If she doesn't talk a lot, that's good. She'll probably get on and talk really, really fast so she can get off the phone really fast. Bye. So anyway, so let's go ahead and look at what we've got going on. Notice I don't have any zeros on my x's, so I can't even find my y-intercept. I'll show you how to find it in this scenario. But I have xy coordinates, and if I have xy coordinates, I can find my slope m. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Write that formula every time so that your brain gets brainwashed for it. Then I'm going to go ahead and use this point, this xy coordinate, and this xy coordinate. Rewrite it for your brain so that it's the way you learned it and you can find things easily. I mean, some of you maybe don't need to do that anymore, but if you get confused on which one's which, write it out for your brain. First choice, second choice, and now I know where everything's at. M equals y2 is 20 minus y1 is 14 over x2 is 200 minus x1, which is 100. Subtracty, that's 6 over 200 minus 100 is 100. I can reduce that down. 2 divides equally into both of them. That is 3. Actually, it's money, right? So erasey. 6 100ths can also be written as 0.06 because that is 6 ending in the hundredths place. So 6 cents. 6 cents per minute she has to pay. Let's go ahead and fill that in. 6 cents per minute. Doesn't seem like a lot, but if she talks a lot, that can add up. How much is her cell phone plan, though? What's the y-intercept? Alrighty, this is the new piece that they're adding for you guys today. So, if I know an x, and I know a y, and I know an m, I know x, I know y, I know m. If you give me 3 of those 4 variables, I can be a detective and find the 4th variable. You guys have those skills. You can do that no problem. So let's go ahead and take, let me put the b here. Let's go ahead and take this, y equals 0.06 times x plus b. And let's take one of our xy coordinates and plug them in for x and plug it in for y. Use the lowest one you can, because why calculate with big numbers if we don't have to, right? So we're going to substitute for x 100 right there, and we're going to substitute for y 14 right there. So I'll rewrite that. 14 equals 0.06 times 100 plus b. Calculate here is 0.06 times 100 is going to be 6 plus b. So cross off what you did, bring down what you didn't do. There I go. And then bringing us on back to in 6th grade when we were learning how to isolate variables. This is the variable I'm trying to find out. I need to get b by himself. He's hanging out with this positive 6. I'm going to do the inverse operation of positive 6 to isolate my variable. That's going to be a negative 6. I'm allowed to do that as long as I do the same thing to both sides of the equation and don't leave one without the other. I gotta be fair. Gotta be fair about this stuff. All right, that cancels that out. 14 minus 6 is 8, right? Yeah, 8. I had to count on my fingers. That leaves me with b. Dun da da. b equals 8. So my equation is 0.06x plus 8. So her cell phone plan costs $8 for the month, and then 6 cents for every minute she uses. I wish my cell phone plan cost $8 for the month. I really do. I don't think there is such a thing anymore. They're like $40 for the month. And then however many phones you have on there, it gets ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But we don't do this 6 cents a minute, 25 cents a text silliness anymore either. So I guess that's a bonus. So there you go. There's our equation for that one. So a lot of this is still the same stuff as we've been doing. You're still using this, and you're probably getting really comfortable with that by now. The only thing we added is that, hey, if you don't know your y-intercept, but you know your slope m, and you just choose an x and a y, if I can fill in 3 variables, I can solve for the 4th. Be the detective. You've got all those skills. You can use them. You got this. I believe in you.